Good day, everyone. I am Gian Monilar, and my topic is about supposition and appellation. Supposition and appellations are the two important properties of terms used in a proposition. It is not always possible for us to produce the actual thing that we want to discuss. We employ terms to stand for the things that we would like to talk about. To understand deeper what is supposition and appellation, let's tackle first what is supposition. The term supposition was derived from the Latin word supponere or suppossessio, which means to stand for. Through this etymological meaning, logicians define supposition as the precise meaning that the term stands for in a supposition. Supposition obviously gives meaning of a term in such many ways depending on its use or function in the proposition, but the meaning of the term is highly dependent on how it stands for a specific function in the proposition. For example, the bat flies overhead. I have struck the bow with a bat. In example number 1, it means that the bat over there is a mammal that flies overhead. While in example number 2, it means that the bat over there is a thing that the person used to hit the ball. Logicians divide supposition into four standpoints, namely, from the standpoint of the object subdivided into real supposition, ideal or imaginary supposition, and instrumental or logical supposition. Second, from the standpoint of the extension of the term subdivided into singular, universal, particular, and collective. Third, from the standpoint of the comprehension of the term subdivided into simple, compound, concrete, and abstract. Lastly, from the standpoint of the meaning of the term subdivided also into precise, ambiguous, and proper. To understand better the four standpoints of supposition, let's discuss it one by one. From the standpoint of the object supposition is subdivided into three. Let's tackle first the real supposition. It refers to a supposition of a term that represents the actual existence of a thing in the external world. All this means is that we intend the words to stand for something existing as a real being. For example, the largest mammals are whales, the Abu Sayyaf of Mindanao, the mafia of Italy. We can say that these examples are real supposition as their existence were proven to be true. Second, ideal or imaginary supposition. It refers to the term that stands for an object of imagination or fancy. All this means is that we intend the words to stand for something unreal existing in the imagination. For example, Batman, Superman, Plastic Man, and Catwoman. These examples are ideal or imaginary supposition because they are not real. They are only existing in our creative imagination. Lastly, instrumental or logical supposition. It refers to the term that stands for something that exists only in the mind. This means that we intend the words to stand for something which does not exist in the real world or imagination because their existence only exists in the mind alone. For example, smile without a face, footprints in the air. Next, we have from the standpoint of the extension of the term supposition is subdivided into four. Let's tackle first singular. Singular refers to a definite individual or thing. The indicators are the definite articles such as the, proper names such as Luneta, Michelle, demonstrative pronouns or adjectives such as that, this, superlative adjectives such as most, best, worst, personal pronouns such as he or she, her or his, and then, for example, the student is comatose. So it's singular because it pertains to only one person and it has a definite article which is the. Second, universal. Universal refers to all individuals signified by the term. The indicators are universal quantifiers, for example, all, everyone, universal ideas, for example, car, all applicable to SUV, sedan, Fortuner, and many more. Third, we have particular. Particular refers to an indefinite part of a whole. The indicators are general ideas, for example, men are stronger than women. Indefinite pronouns or adjective, for example, some, few, and several. Lastly, collective. Collective refers to a group of individuals considered as a single unit. For example, audience, committee, and crowd. Next, from the standpoint of the comprehension of the term, supposition is subdivided into four. First, simple. Simple is a one note in its comprehension. Second, compound. It means more than one note. Third, concrete. Concrete represents a subject together with its determinants. Lastly, abstract. It represents an object separated from its subject. Lastly, from the standpoint of meaning, supposition is classified into three. Let's tackle first precise supposition. Precise supposition refers to the term that stands for only one meaning in the proposition. For example, I am a Filipino citizen, so it has only one meaning. Next, ambiguous supposition. It refers to the term that stands for several probable meaning in the proposition. For example, the UST medical team has arrived. It may mean that the playing team or the professional team. Although the speaker may have definite meaning in his or her mind, yet the listener is not sure of it. Lastly, proper. Proper supposition refers to the term that stands for a proper object. For example, Calbayog is the only city of Western Samar. Appellation. The term appellation literally means the calling of something. Applied in logic, appellation refers to the term that denominates another term. There are two terms that govern appellation, namely, the appellant and the appellate. The term appellant pertains to the denominating term, while the term appellate pertains to the denominated term. For example, excellent teacher. Excellent is the appellant because it is the denominating term of the teacher, while the teacher is the appellate because it is the denominated term of the term excellent, which is the appellant. There are four kinds of appellation: material, formal, precise, and imprecise. Material is when the appellant is applied to the subject only as identified by the feature or nature expressed, but not classified by it. Formal is when the appellant is applied to the subject as identified and qualified by the feature or nature expressed. Third, precise, when the sense of the appellation is definite and clear. Lastly, imprecise, it is when the sense of the appellation is not definite and clear.